There was a Scottish writer, Samuel Smiles. He lived about 100 years ago, and he wrote this: "Lost wealth may be replaced by industry, lost knowledge by study, lost health by temperance or medicine, but lost time is gone forever." As humans, we've long known that time is one of the most precious things we have. The demands of our time can be large or small, but all of us at one point or another have thought to ourselves, "I really wish I had more time." Today I want to go over just 5 ways that you can manage your time more effectively and get more done in your day. Although there are many other great time management techniques and ideas out there, these are my top 5. I'd love it if you go ahead and share your favourite techniques in the comments below, or just share what time constraints you struggle with within your life. Let's start with my number 1 tip: planning. Plan your day and your week. There's an old adage, supposedly said by Benjamin Franklin, that when you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. You simply need to have a plan for your day. When I managed hotels, each staff member had a plan for their day. They had a checklist they had to tick off on each of their shifts. Now, as a teacher, my day is partially planned for me due to the requirement for me to be in classes at scheduled times. But then I need to plan out the remainder of the day for marking, etc. So your question now is probably, well, how do I plan my day and my week? You need to do a few things. You first need to categorize the activities of your life. Possible categories can include business, so work, school, study, relationships, dating, date nights, time with your children or extended family, your health, fitness, sport, relaxation, me time, socializing, activities with friends and family, fun, life admin, cleaning, paying bills, organizing home projects, and most importantly, sleep. Each of these categories may need plans made for them. For instance, your workday may not be planned for you, and you need to create a plan of how you'll use your workday. Also, there may need to be plans within plans. Now, once you have your categories, you then need to list all the activities, now timed or untimed, that you need and want to accomplish in the days of the week. You want to try and put them under each category you've come up with. Now, it's best to start with the things that take up most of your time. Usually, these are the things that are daily must-dos: work, study, caring for others, and then list other things in order of decreasing urgency or importance. Now you need to plan out your week. You can use paper, fold the paper into half, then half again, then half again. This will give you 8 spaces on your page, 1 for each day of the week, along with a spare. Or you can use a digital template or even a calendar. Now, once you've done your first week, you'll probably notice that most of the next week will look the same. So over time, you'll be able to just copy your previous week and make the changes that happen from week to week. Depending on how busy your life is will depend on how much detail you need to put into your planner. You'll either need to put a time on each activity, or you may put a number of activities into a block of time. Or you may even just list that certain activities have to happen on a particular day or part of the week. My wife and I, we share a digital calendar. We've got 2 young boys and we're pretty busy. She can record her shifts as they constantly vary, being a nurse, and I can put in work events that are happening outside normal work hours. Because normal work hours, she knows where I am. We also put in appointments for ourselves and our boys, as well as our social activities. I have a standing start to my day of exercising before my wife or kids wake up. Now, I don't put this into my calendar, so it's something that I do each day. But some people schedule each activity of their day from showering to when they prepare and eat their meals to when they exercise. Now, with young kids, my wife and I need to have more flexibility in our schedule. Once a week, usually Sunday evening, I'll sit down and look at what's coming up in the week, both at home and at work. And I add to my plan or my calendar any items that I want to get done. For items I've not done before, I always think about how long I might need for my task, and then I double it. Us blokes tend to underestimate how long things will take, and if it happens to not take that long, then great, I get some time back. If it does end up taking the longer time, then I've finished my task and I'm not having to leave it half finished. Now, on the weekends, I'll have the usual chores to do, and I know on a particular day that certain things need to be done. Being the weekend, I don't schedule these things in a timed fashion, say like 9:30 to 9:50. Rather, I make a list, whether on paper or on my phone, and it's all the chores that need to be done, and then I have great pleasure in ticking or crossing them off as I go. It helps me to greatly keep track of what's being done. I also try to do certain tasks at a similar time each week. For instance, I'll wash and iron my shirts for work on a Friday night. Now, I'll go shopping at the market early on a Saturday morning, but life has to be flexible. If there's a function on Friday night, then I'll move my ironing to another time in the weekend. Also, each day I'll find some time to look at the next day. For me, I have a commute of about an hour, a mix of walking and train rides, where I can look through my calendar and do some planning for the next day. I also spend 5 minutes at the end of each workday to do any necessary planning for the following day. Now this leads me on to my second tip: smooth your morning. It's been so helpful in my life to prepare the night before for a smooth start to the following day. I've made choosing clothes for work easy. I have 5 pairs of the same pants and 5 business shirts, and enough socks and underwear to last me the week. This means my mornings aren't consumed with rushing around, trying to sort out what I'm going to wear, or even ironing shirts. My exercise clothes are laid out the night before, and my shoes are always put in the same place. I know where they are, I'm not stressed about trying to find them. Now, we'll usually make enough dinner so we can take leftovers to work the following day, and these leftovers are left aside or put aside first. Right? We get them first, put them in containers, and then we plate up our meals. So we know we've got something left and it's done, and it helps us not overeat dinner, especially if it's a tasty one. I know some people also like to prepare their breakfast in advance, either the night before or making breakfast they can put together during a weekend bulk cook-up. But I like to see how I feel in the morning and then choose. Thinking about my morning routine brings me to my third tip: automate. Automate, automate, automate. There are so many ways in which you can automate your life. I'm going to go through a few, and it would be great if you could share your ideas or practical solutions in the comments below. First one, I used to be quite controlling of my money and always paid my bills via BPay when I wanted them to be paid. As I've become busier, having the kids, I've realized that when it comes to set monthly bills, utilizing the free direct debit service of the service provider is a great way to automate my life. Now, due to our budget practices, I know that the money will be there in our accounts when the bill arrives, and all I need to do is a quick check of the total for bills that have the same amount each month, or a quick scan over the bill to see if it's reasonable or if there's any errors that need to be fixed. Another automation with money is that I've set up multiple sub-accounts. Now you can check out Suncorp or online banks, they've got suitable products, and each part of our pay gets allocated to a specific item in our budget. So the day after I'm paid, amounts are automatically transferred to each account. This way, when a bill or expense comes along, I know the money is sitting there waiting to be used. Another automation is to automate your dinner. Choose some recipes and use them on rotation, some or all nights of the week. If you always eat out on Friday and Saturday nights, then you might only automate Sunday through to Thursday night. If you're like our family, then it's going to be only in rare occasions that we eat out. So we automate our meals much more. We used to plan out for a fortnight at a time, but have recently moved it to plan for the whole month. Now, this is because we have a special deal. Woolworths credit cards, they give 10% discount on our shop once a month. So with a 1 month meal plan, we can buy all the staples, get a 10% discount on them. This saves us between $20 and $50 each month. We then only buy milk and bread and sometimes a few other items each other week during the month. So in planning out the month, we simply copy the list from the previous month and rearrange items or add or remove meals. Sometimes this suits the season when there's different fruits and vegetables available. Now having this plan takes the pressure off each day, as we don't need to worry about what's for dinner if it's in the plan. Right? We just look at the plan, there we go, it's sorted. Now finally, something I'm yet to convince my wife to do, but I'm hopeful, is to automate some of our chores. My plan is to allocate certain tasks to particular days of the week. That way we'll get into a habit over time where we just automatically do that particular chore on that particular day and don't need to think about it. We go on autopilot and it just gets done. The task becomes habitualized. And that leads me on to my fourth tip: batching your tasks. There are things that you just have to do in life, and unless you're super rich, you're probably still going to be doing these tasks throughout your life. Things like washing clothes, emptying the bin, cleaning and cooking. So the challenge here isn't about getting out of doing these tasks, but rather about being efficient about how you go about doing them. My father-in-law irons his work shirts each morning before going to work. So 5 days a week, he drags the ironing board and iron out the cupboard, sets them up, waits for the iron to heat up, irons his shirt, then has to put the ironing board away. I was pretty shocked when I first saw him do this. And I think I did this in the past when I was younger, but must have soon realized that ironing all my shirts together was going to save me time and hassle each morning. I batch this task to save time and be more efficient. On Friday evenings, or sometimes Saturday mornings, I'll wash all my work shirts from the week and then iron them all. Now, pro tip here, ironing them while they're still wet or damp from the washing machine actually helps make the steam to get out the wrinkles. It makes ironing a whole lot easier. Now, there are a whole range of tasks that can be batched like this. Some of mine include emptying multiple bins at once, cleaning the bathroom sink and vanity while brushing your teeth, cleaning the shower while having a shower, vacuuming or mopping while listening to a podcast. There's lots of great podcasts out there, so it's great to be able to do that. Preparing large amounts of meals and then freezing them to have for meals later. Now this depends on your freezer space and doesn't work with all meals. Now on the topic of cooking, I also like to load and unload the dishwasher, or wash, dry and put away dishes, while I'm in the middle of cooking dinner. Something's always sitting on the stove boiling away, so you've got some time there. Now these are ideas for at home, but you can also apply the same technique for your workplace. Have a look at the tasks you do during your day and see if there are any that can be bashed together. I'd love to hear your ideas, so put a comment below. Finally, I want to talk about my 5th tip, setting a timer for your tasks. There's a technique called the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is for when you have a large task that requires extended concentration. It traditionally requires you to set a timer for 25 minutes. You start the timer once you start working on the task, and then you take a break at the end of the 25 minutes, or you change to another task. You then set the timer for another 25 minutes and keep working like this until the task is done. Now I like to vary the time of working on the task and the length of the breaks, depending on the task at hand. If it's something like marking tests, I'll arrange my tests into piles of 8 or 9, more if it's a short or easy test to mark, and fewer if it's something like an extended essay. And I'll take a break to stretch, get a drink, relax my eyes, etc. I'll then keep repeating this cycle until I'm finished or I've run out of my allocated time. The pressure of the clock seems to help me keep focused on the task. Sometimes I'll even have an online countdown timer on my computer screen so I can be even more conscious of how productive I've been. I feel that this time management technique is also great when in a relationship, because you can say to your partner, the time is set, and then you'll stop working on your project or task as soon as the alarm goes off. It gives them the knowledge that you won't be at your task forever, and they can plan to do something with their time while you're busy. So to recap, my 5 main time management techniques are having a plan, smooth your morning, automate your life, batch your tasks, and set a timer on those tasks. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these techniques and what you use to manage your time in your daily life. Until next time, go be a better Aussie man.